Hi nursery, I'm going to tell you a story today all about a boy called Jack. Are you ready? Have you got your listeners? Okay. Once upon a time there was a little boy called Jack, and he lived in a little farmhouse with his mummy, here she is, and their lovely pet cow. And they used to get milk from the cow every day. But one day, Mummy said that they didn't have a lot of money left and they were running out of money to buy food. So they were going to have to sell the cow. Now Jack was like, oh no, please don't sell the cow. I love Daisy the cow. But Mummy said we had to. So Jack decided that he had to be strong and he had to take the cow to the market. So Mummy went back inside her house and Jack started his long walk to the market with the cow. He was walking and walking and walking until he saw somebody in the distance. Now this person was very, very tall. He had a long jacket on and he had a funny hat and he wasn't sure who it was. But as the man got closer, he started to wave at Jack. So Jack was being polite and he waved back. And then the man said, are you selling that fine cow? So Jack said, oh yes, I am. Would you like to buy him from me? Buy her? So then the man said, oh yes please, I would love to buy your cow. So Jack said, oh, how much will you offer for me? So then the man said, come here, this is very special. And he reached inside his pocket and he pulled out some magic beans. And he said to Jack, oh, Jack, I've got these magic beans. They are so special and they are worth more than money. These will be a fabulous exchange for your cow. Now Jack wasn't sure. His mummy said that he had to sell the cow for money so they could buy food. But Jack was thinking, maybe these magic beans would be a better idea than money. So he decided to say yes. So he gave the cow away to the man and he took the magic beans and he carried them all the way home to his mum. He was so excited to tell his mum, and his mum came out. She said, oh Jack, you're back so soon. How much money did you get for our cow Daisy? So Jack said, oh mum, I didn't get money. I got something much better than that. I got these magic beans. Look, there's a green one and a pink one and a glass looking one. It's so sparkly. I think they're so magic. They're going to be fantastic. And mum's face dropped. She looked at Jack and she said, oh, Jack, what were you thinking? We need the money to buy food. Why did you get beans instead of money? And Jack felt a little bit sad. He said, sorry, Mum, but the man said that the beans are worth more than money, so I thought it would be a good idea. But Mum was so sad. She said to Jack, go straight to your room. I just need to sit down for a minute. I'm so sad. And off Jack went up to his bedroom for some quiet time. Meanwhile, Mum sat down at the table. She made herself a cup of tea and she looked at the beans on the table. She just didn't know what to do. So she got the beans and she threw them out of the window. Then she decided to go to bed because it was quite late in the evening by then. So off she went to bed. Jack went fast asleep as well because it was night time. And then he noticed that when he woke up in the morning, something was outside his window. He opened the curtains. He had a stretch and he looked out the window. Wonder what it could be. Out of the window, he saw something green. It was really tall and it was stretching really high into the sky. It was all twisted. It had leaves on it and it was reaching all the way up to the sky. Jack could not believe his eyes. He came outside and he looked up at the plant. He was wondering what it was, and then he looked closely and he could see some beans on it. He thought, oh, it must be a beanstalk. I wonder what he's going to do next. Yep, he decided to climb it. Up he goes, all the way to the top of the beanstalk. It went right through the clouds and you couldn't see Jack from the floor anymore. When he got to the top, he looked around and he could see a big door. Up to that door he walked and he knocked on. didn't hear anything, so he knocked again. Then he heard big footsteps coming towards the door. Then the door began to open, and behind the door stood a big giant. He looked out of the door, but he couldn't see Jack because Jack was so small. So Jack ran inside the house and he sat at the bottom of the table. The giant looked around and he said, "Oh, there's nobody here. I'm going to go back to my lunch." So off he went, back to his table. He sat down and started eating. Meanwhile, Jack was on the floor, looking around, wondering where he was. He was in the giant's castle, and he didn't know what to do next. Then he heard the giant finishing his food, and the giant said, "Oh, I think I'll get my golden hen out of the cupboard. I need to get some golden eggs that she has laid." So off he went to the cupboard, and he got the golden hen from the cupboard. He kept her in there to keep her safe, and he put her on the table. He said, "Lay me a golden egg." And all of a sudden, the hen laid a golden egg. It was a huge, shiny golden egg. And Jack couldn't believe his eyes, because he remembered when he was little, he used to have a golden egg that was laid by a hen. And his mum used to tell him all about this hen that they had that used to lay eggs. And he wondered if it used to be his hen. Then the giant got the eggs and he put them all in a basket and he put the hen back in the cupboard. So Jack decided to go and ask the hen. Over to the cupboard he went and he got out the hen and he said, "Excuse me, hen, did you used to live down like on Earth, and did you used to belong to a farmer and a farmer's wife?" And she said, "Oh, yes, I did. The giant found me and he took me up to his castle." So Jack said, "Well, I'm going to take you home." So he picked up the hen and he got ready to sneak out of the castle. So off he went near the door. Then the giant decided that he was going to open the door for some fresh air. So Jack saw his chance to run out. So the giant opened his door and Jack ran along. He ran out of the door and he ran to the top of the beanstalk. The giant heard the door as it shut, and then he noticed that he had heard footsteps, and he was like, who are those footsteps from? I'm just going to go and check. So he opened his door and he saw Jack running towards the top of the beanstalk. So as he ran, he was climbing down with the hen, trying not to fall, and the giant was chasing him, shouting, "Fee, fi, fo, fum, here I come." So he came and he was chasing Jack. He was running really fast. He was trying to climb down the beanstalk. But luckily, Jack was so fast, he got near the bottom and he shouted, "Mum, Mum, get the axe." So Mum didn't know what was going on. She got the axe from out of the shed and she decided to chop down the bottom of the beanstalk. The beanstalk fell just as Jack got to the bottom, and the giant wasn't able to climb down. He managed to grab back onto the cloud and pulled himself back up to the castle, and Jack was down on the floor with the golden hen. And he decided to tell his mum all about the adventure and all about the golden hen that he thinks the giant took from them. So she was so happy. Even though he didn't get money for the cow, he got the golden hen and they could lay golden eggs. And then maybe he could go back and find the man and buy the cow back. And that's the end. So I wonder if you can think of a different ending to the story. If it wasn't the giant up at the top, I wonder who else could be at the top of the beanstalk. Maybe have a little think. Okay, bye.